What do you think is the topic of the NBA, the biggest story of the NBA through the first month and a half of the season? We got Christmas right around the corner in the same way that, the season doesn't really begin in the NFL until after Thanksgiving. It's usually around Christmas when rosters are already set. You're already
tuning in.
Yeah, you start tuning in. The chemistry's already working, or it's not yet working. So, what do you think is the biggest story so far in the NBA season?
I would probably have to defer to you because I would say that, you've been in the daily grind of it since the season started. I myself have not.
You have not.
No, I've been tapping in. Just kind of like, I think overall these storylines that have been more so pop culture are just like, I feel like are fluff pieces. Like where's the real, like what's the real story?
Okay.
Right?
So let me give you choices. The 7-loss month of November for Golden State that included Draymond Green getting suspended by the team because he dropped the B word on Durant for giving him grief for having a poor.
That.
Okay. And then
it's not a big deal. Steph Curry was out. That's not a big deal.
But that's a big deal in terms of this. This clearly will be Durant's last season there because he.
No. You know how many fights teammates get into and people on the same team get into? That's like, come on, man. That's like nobody's even talking about it anymore. That was like a lot. That was like whenever it happened, it was blown up that week. After they both came out, and said what they had to say. In February, it's not going to matter. March, April, May, June.
Right.
And then July when, they're competing, June when they're competing for a championship, it's not going to matter.
So you're thinking that maybe Steve Kerr and the rest of the team's thinking if the impending free agency for Durant was a problem in the mind's eye of Draymond Green, or maybe the rest of the team he was giving voice to, at least they got it out of the way in a meaningless game in Staples Center in November rather than it popping up in May.
Man, it's you play pickup ball in the summer, right? You want the last shot, you hot. I take the ball and then I dribble and I turn the ball over. You're going to be hot. We're going to get into a heated exchange. I wanted to win, you want to win. So that's just taking place on the highest level. But I don't think it's too much to put too much weight into, especially into the 7 losses because, they kind of needed that. A lot of times when you have a team and a machine like that is moving and, moving the way they've been moving, over the last 5 years, sometimes you need a little breakdown to start to rebuild because it gives them ample amount of time to see and understand that they have a whole new team than they did the previous year. So how are we going to win with this team? So Steph being out, that helped. The KD, Draymond thing, that helped. Those are all distractions for some of these young guys and some other people to step up or not, or step down, and I think that you learn a lot. When you're a championship team, you learn a lot when you lose.
All right, Baron Davis. And how about the 22 wins the Raptors have with Kawhi Leonard part of their team now, and LeBron out west, leaves the East wide open for the Raptors to finally take, despite the Celtics struggling early on and the Sixers adding Jimmy Butler when he can come back healthy and Giannis balling out like he is in Milwaukee. What about that?
Yeah, I think it's, the East is exciting because there's a lot more parity. Right, and so there's a real opportunity for there to be a new contender coming out of the East. I love Kawhi Leonard, Southern Cal native, and I just love his energy. The way he plays defense is the same way he plays offense. He gets better and better offensively. I think the Raptors, Pascal, he's come through NBA Player of the Week. So they have these young guys that and a great mix of young guys and guys who are right at the peak of their career, and so they have the most worth and wealth. Boston has the most talent, right up top to bottom. They have the most talent, and they haven't put that talent together yet. And then Philadelphia is probably the scariest, right? Because Philadelphia, adding Jimmy Butler, they actually get some stability. So when you're looking at a professional NBA team that looks like they could be in the championship or the Eastern Conference Finals, you're looking at a team like Philadelphia because they can match up with anybody and give anybody problems.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.